All right, thank you everybody for coming this morning. We'll start with our ribbon cutting for the expansion of the East Jefferson YMCA. As we do with everything at the parish, we'll start with Pledge of Allegiance. I'll ask Board Member Mr. Kevin Steerwall to lead us in the pledge.
Sir, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, well, thank everybody for being here. This is, I don't want to speak out of turn, Parish President may correct me, but I think this is the first ribbon cutting for the parish in 2021. So very glad to be here and be a part of this. This is different than a lot of the ribbon cuttings we do because candidly, the work, the labor, and everything that was done, all the resources were the private resources. I'm proud to say that as the representative of this district, that the parish's main role here was to say yes. That was really it. And to stay out of the way was probably the most important thing. And I think we did a pretty damn good job of that. But what's exciting about this, I mean, obviously for the last going on 12 months now, we've dealt with pandemic restrictions and COVID and the effect on not only our economy, but our way of life, probably more importantly. And so unfortunately, many businesses and many organizations, particularly nonprofits, have not only had an inability to expand, but have had to constrict their operations. Well, I guess if there's a bright side to this, I think what the Y maybe has experienced, and I know other fitness and exercise and health related places have experienced, is that the pandemic has caused an increase in demand for outside activities, for physical activities, for health and wellness, and an increased attention to that. And I'd like to think, while it may be just a parking lot, maybe it's symbolic of a trend that we hope is a long-term trend in expansion in health and fitness and wellness in Jefferson Parish. This East Jefferson YMCA has been a vital member of our community for beyond decades. I'm proud to say that my family was actually an original charter member of the first East Jefferson YMCA, and my dad proudly carries his card. He doesn't check in here and do anything with it, but he still has the card to prove that we're long-standing members here. But what we're here for today is an expansion of the parking lot, which, I mean, what better symbol of the activity and the need for a facility than the need to fit cars, than the need to accommodate participants and members at the institution. We're here for a $370,000 renovation, expanding that parking lot. That was all funded 100% by community contributions to the YMCA. So this is community money. This is, moms, dads, sisters, brothers, parents and children donating their money to this nonprofit, the YMCA, for the betterment of this community. The actual construction was 4 months for parking lot improvements, drainage, landscaping, replacing sidewalks along Riverside Drive. But I will tell you, it's been a much longer project than that if we get into the design, the public meetings, the construction meetings. The work was actually done by Fleming, but the design was done by Myers Engineering, who has a lengthy history of successful work in Jefferson Parish, for Jefferson Parish. And I can speak firsthand to the work that was done. Believe it or not, every project in the parish is not without its challenges. In particular, the interface with the public and the interface with the community is always the biggest challenge of the elected official in making sure that what is progress and expansion for one is oftentimes an inconvenience to others. And unfortunately, this project, at least at the inception, was no exception to that. But because of what Gordon Wodge, Candace Schrag, and the YMCA board did, along with their consultants, Myers Engineering, they reach out to the community, got the community involved, got us involved. My office at the parish with Brenda Campos, who's on their board, Mike Quigley, who's probably the most active member, participant in YMCA activities. I know he definitely leaves the office in the afternoon, and I know he's coming here. With them, but in addition, Amy Vallow in the construction and permits, the head of code and permits at the parish, the planning department, Terry Wilkinson, who's now in the parish president's office, and Juliette Cassan, her successor in the planning department. What Gordon and Candace did with Myers up front was got them involved so the approvals could be done the right way. The public meetings could be done the right way on the front end so that any problems could be headed off at the pass, which they were, and which is why, you know, from the time design was complete, from the time the permits were approved, it went through construction with relatively no hiccups and no challenges along the way. That's the right planning. That's the right preparation in advance, and they did that. And because of that, like I said, I think what we were able to do at the parish is provide the guidelines, provide the framework, and then stay out of the way and just say yes and encourage this expansion. So with that, I'm proud to be here today. I'd like to now introduce our parish president, who when this started was Councilwoman Sheng, representing this area as the Councilwoman at large. But for the last 12 months, almost to the day, I think we're close, has been our parish president, and certainly was nothing but positive and encouraging behind this project the whole way. Parish President Sheng.
Thank you, Councilman. We're really just here to thank the YMCA. I mean, you all have been such a stable part of our community for so long, and the fact that you're willing to invest in this property, this high-profile property. But it's hard to come to a YMCA event without going through a timeline in your life, and I think I'm no different than other people in the community. I'm happy to say I learned later in life that my father, Sheriff Harry Lee, was a board member at the YMCA on, is it Homa? Is it on Homa? And some of my fondest memories was climbing that swimming pool ladder. Y'all know that ladder that was probably not allowed anymore. It's probably not legal, but it was the highest ladder. Even right here, bringing my own children, partaking in the child care services, and I'd go swim with my infants being watched here. So, I mean, the YMCA has just been an integral part of my life, but I can say that's mimicked throughout our community and so many other people's lives, you know, from a childhood to when you're a parent to when you're a senior. And that's the importance of what you all do and so many of the other programs that you do. So I'm just here to say thank you for your investment and your reinvestment in this property. District 4 is such a strong, I've been to more ribbon cuttings in District 4, and it's no surprise that the first one is right here in this area. But again, thank you. We look forward to your continued partnership and for everything that you do for us, and just being such a proud partner for us in Jefferson Parish.
And before I introduce our last speaker, I want to specifically thank, I've already mentioned Gordon Wadge, the president and CEO of the YMCA of Greater New Orleans, who, for those of you who are here, board members and other members of the Y, I would assume you have a sense, but I don't know that you truly understand how Gordon and Candace wave your flag, and the manner, the extent to which they are ingrained in every facet of the Jefferson Parish community, from other nonprofits, other boards, and whatnot, to make sure that the flag of the YMCA is carried proudly and strongly. And there's this project is just one small example of the work that I get the opportunity to see the both of them do extensively. Also, thanks to Louis Ogle, the Chief Operating Officer of the YMCA here, Lonnie Carter and Maisie Toller, who are on the East Jefferson YMCA leadership team, and then I mentioned Candace Schrag. Well, now Schrag, right? Executive Director of the Y. And lastly, the board members of the East Jefferson YMCA, in particular, Kevin Steerwald, who led the public meetings and organized the public meetings that we were able to have for approval of this project. And with that, I'd like to introduce Kevin Steerwald to address the group.
Thank you, Tom. So I was just invited here today, just say a couple of things as sort of the private citizen, sort of the independent voice, if you will, not an official parish person, not an official employee of the Y, but just to say that, you know, the YMCA it's more than just a facility. It's more than just an organization. It's family. In particular, for me, a lot like the other folks, I met my wife here. When the Y used to be on Houma Boulevard, we met as day camp counselors in 1985, and my wife Irene, who's supporting me today, actually came out in the cold, and so to this day, my son and I work out here. My daughter has worked out here. She also has been a lifeguard for the last 5 years here in the summer. So it represents so much more. It's family, and you know what the Y truly means to us is it's engagement in the community. It's all of the things that they do. There are a lot of other places, and I would never throw any other organization under the bus, but there's a lot of other places where you can go to work out. There's a lot of places where you can go to exercise, right? But none of them do the things that the YMCA does. None of them offer, whether it's child care through car seat safety, or they offer after-school programs, or they offer swimming lessons. These are things that the YMCA engages in the community with and for, and that's what makes us as board members so proud to serve, right? And I think the last thing that I would like to say is simply this. The Y is steadfast, and I thought about this morning as I was trying to remember, okay, when I get up here, what do I really want to convey? It was just simply the word yes. Y, and then E for engagement, and then S for the steadfastness that the YMCA's mission brings. They don't waver from it. It is community driven, it is generational, it is children, it is parents, it is grandparents, and that's what makes me so proud to be not just the chairman of the board, but just a part of the YMCA. And I want to thank all of the past board members. I want to thank all of the present board members, some of whom are with us here today, and just thank everyone that came out to support us today. So with that, I will introduce Ms. Candace Schrag, who's the director of our YMCA.
Good morning, everyone. So as Kevin said, I am Candace Schrag, the executive director of this East Jefferson YMCA. And with any long-term project, there deserves a heartfelt and intentional thank you. So I have prepared a few words in advance because we do have some volunteers here today. We do have some community leaders today who have been a part of this process that I think really deserve to hear that heartfelt appreciation. So I first just want to say that serving in this role allows me to be a part of how the Y's mission serves many generations through programming that builds healthy mind, body, and spirit for all. That is the core of who the YMCA is. And we have a long-term sustainable mission of this YMCA that has been present in this community for over 20 years. And we have volunteers that have been a part of this community even longer than that at the Houma YMCA that invested in this project. So I want to say thank you to all of them. We have some of them sitting here with us today. In my 6 years with the East Jefferson YMCA, I've been able to see so many investments and improvements that have only increased the Y's reach in this community. It's been a privilege to witness the will, dedication, and strength of a community unified around a common goal, such as this addition, but many others in my time here. Not all investments are as visible as a parking lot that creates more space for programming. We have seen volunteers and community come together for roof repairs, HVAC replacements, additional interior walls so that we can have more programming, new flooring, and even an entirely new line of cardio equipment that we added just in 2020. So the improvements and the investments within this community keep on coming because the community is engaged and wanting to see these things happen. And that's just positive momentum that we definitely want to recognize here today. When the need for this addition was first realized in 2013, countless members, volunteers, board members, YMCA staff, we have some instructors that are standing here today, banded together to create and fund opportunities for this project, from Zumbathons to summer galas and many more other fundraising efforts. And they have made this project a reality. Local community leaders were so inspired by these efforts that they invested time, talent, and treasure in this project as well. So to all of those who had a vision in furthering the mission of the YMCA through this project, we say thank you. I would just also like to share that as a previous YMCA kid that learned how to swim at the YMCA and also received financial assistance at a very hard time in my family growing up, that the YMCA has had a profound impact on my life. growing up, it was the place that I was able to come and be safe and supported and be invested in through leadership. And I believe that is a huge part of why I stand here in front of you today, because people in the community at a local YMCA where I was from in the Northeast decided to invest in me. So this project is so much more than parking spaces and a resurfaced sidewalk for the community to walk through. It gives us opportunity for new sports fields to have more children in our youth programs, for outdoor lighting and outdoor pavilion that could offer more programming spaces after COVID-19, when we know that it's super important for us to be programming outside for families. But ultimately, it gives us more opportunity to create more family, more people coming in, more people like Kevin Steerwald and his wife that can meet and have a lifelong relationship because of the Y. I myself met my husband at this YMCA. So there are so many good things that this East Jefferson Y has done in the community, and it wouldn't be possible without the many people here today, but also everyone behind these doors and also from this East Jefferson community. So thank you all for coming out today. I'll let Councilman close us out, and we are going to go cut the ribbon soon.
All right, nothing left to say. Without further ado, let's cut the ribbon and celebrate the expansion of the YMCA.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.